All right, everyone. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to have Twist back with us. So for those of you who remember Twist, she was probably like what, a year ago?
No, it was 3 years ago.
Oh geez, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
I absolutely love everything that she does and has so much great goodness to share with people. And we have decided to bring you some more goodness. And there's so much more to come, but we wanted to first come on here, give you some value, help you out with some things I've been seeing that you all are struggling with a little bit. So first, welcome, Twist. So glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm so glad I'm here. And we should probably address the fact that 3 years ago, I was in that transition phase where I was still using my given name. So some of you might remember me by another name, but let me tell you, it's so much easier in life to go by a nickname. And I have done a total rebrand all around my name. Everything now is with a twist, and it's so much fun. So there you go. That's a little story for you.
Love that. And like branding yourself, like that's something that you can do. And that's exactly what you've done, is really branded yourself, and you've taken your personality and your background and everything, and it makes it very memorable. And that's one thing that we talk a lot about, is being able to be memorable, because that's where people are going to come and find you, and like they're just not going to forget.
They're not going to forget. I mean, here's the thing. Like when I was using my given name, people couldn't remember my name. They couldn't say my name. They couldn't spell my name. And I was like, how am I ever going to be referred? And especially as a professional speaker, Brooke, it was like, what am I going to do about this? I mean, I get paid $10,000 to speak at conferences, and people would get on stage and be like, this is Melissa White. And I was like, who is Melissa White? And then I don't think you know this, my brother got married to a girl whose name rhymes with mine. So we now have an Alyssa Light and a Melissa Light in the family. And I was like, this is just not happening.
Yeah.
And so I just said, that's it. Like I've been Twist for 15 years. There are people in this world who don't even know what my first name is. And I thought, that's it. I'm just going to build a whole brand around this. And I did. And it's worked so well, because now all of the workshops that we have, like our storytelling one that we're going to chat about, storytelling with a twist today. Like it's so much fun to have a name that you can play with that is super memorable.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Well, let's dive into, I was talking to you a little bit before about what some people are having some troubles with inside this group, and like on our list, and just everyone in our community, because when you're trying to build a business online and there's thousands of other people that are doing the exact same thing as you, yes, it's hard to set yourself apart. And the way that you do such a great job at this is through storytelling. So
I do.
Let's dive into this. How can people really start setting themselves apart?
Okay, friends, first of all, storytelling does not have to be complicated or long. You do not need a 12-part hero's journey. You do not need a 3-part start, middle, end, whatever the heck anybody taught you. All marketing is about storytelling, and all storytelling is about belonging. And therefore, marketing is just about belonging. So when we tell stories and we create spaces where people go, oh, you get me, and they get excited, then we've done our job, because sales become easier, then communication becomes easier, then networking becomes easier. I mean, let me tell you, just with this concept, I have built a network that is so big that if I play 6 degrees of twist, not 6 degrees of separation, 6 degrees of twist, I've never been stumped. And it doesn't matter if I stand in a room full of 7th graders when I do financial literacy in schools, or when I stand in front of a conference of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, or sometimes thousands of people, and somebody calls out a name and I'm like, oh, here's how I could connect them through my network. And all of that has happened because of storytelling. All of that has happened is because I'm memorable. All of that has happened intentionally. And you can do that too. You need to find that one little nugget, that thing that you can first be remembered by. It's not about the be all and end all. Like a niche, I'm Canadian, and there is no T in that word. A niche, my friends, is a place to start, not a place to end up. Now, pause. Did you see Brooke's reaction when I said that? See how she had a little laugh, or an almost laugh, when I said that niche thing? Being a little bit funny, teaching people a few things, adding in a little bit of commentary. People love that. They love that. Add that in, you'll be memorable. First tip.
I love that. And that is so true, because you think about the people who are just like always polished and they say the exact right things. You don't really remember that. But the people who are like open and vulnerable and like maybe they're crying on a Facebook Live or like something that they're doing something out of the ordinary that people would think, oh, I can't do that because I have to put my like professional face forward.
Okay,
Those
wait, Brooke. We should talk about how I was dressed when we first were going to record this video. Let's talk about, friends, I had my hair up in a bun. I was like looking all great. I had these like titanium earrings on that were super cool. Y'all know I love my earring collection. Yes, I'm a Canadian. I say y'all, it's fine. I had on this beautiful cowl sweater and I was like, Brooke, if you're wearing a t-shirt, I'm wearing a t-shirt. Like I literally have my Kajabi Hero t-shirt on. For those of you who are not familiar, here's another example of a story. I'm doing this on purpose. Okay, friends? Doing this on purpose to teach you. Kajabi is a fantastic software that you can host all kinds of things in, like courses and whatnot, which I have to tell you, I just saw the back end of something that Brooke is building. Her stuff is freaking awesome. So just ignore the Kajabi part. But here's the thing. Kajabi has gamified. You sell your first $1,000 of stuff, they send you a t-shirt. I'm like, I will wear this t-shirt all day long. P.S. Brooke, you should get t-shirts. So see, friends, stories that are easy to remember, easy to tell. They're fun to listen to. That's what you're looking for.
Yes. Well, and I remember when I first started learning about the whole storytelling and how you can do storytelling to really lead into anything. Like I remember
anything.
Okay, I'm gonna try this.
Okay. I'm gonna get my tea and sit back and enjoy.
Okay. So I remember like one of my emails that got the highest open rate, because I just started telling stories through email. One of the emails that got the highest open rate was the one where I told a story about when I was in 3rd grade and I had this crush on this boy. Now I had a crush on this boy from 1st grade to 3rd grade.
That is a long time.
For a 9-year-old, that's a very long time.
That's a long time. Like percentage wise, I'm doing the math on that. I'm thinking, oh man, okay, go.
Yes. So I decided, because my 3rd grade teacher said on leap day, because it was leap year that year, on leap day, that was the day that it's tradition that the women ask the men to marry them.
Oh my goodness me. You did not, Brooke Elder.
I did. So I wrote down, I had a sleepover at my aunt's house. I wrote down his phone number. I pick up the phone and I'm so nervous. I mean, I don't think I ever talked to this boy. I just liked him from like afar. Okay. So
I love this story. I have never heard this story.
And I call him and like his dad answered or something like that. So I asked for him and he's like, hello. And I said, this is Brooke. Will you marry me? And he hung up.
No.
I was devastated. Yes, but it's okay because I saw him back. Like we went to different junior highs, high school. We were together again. And I saw him. I'm like, good thing, because he was not my type anymore. But like I told that story and then I turned it into like, this is how you could, like, if you're too scared to do something, sometimes you just have to do it, even though it may end up that someone hangs up on you. But when you get out of that, like your comfort zone and you do something, you could have an amazing story.
Totally. And here's another angle you could put on that story, Brooke. Here, like you could say, oh my gosh, we spend so much time getting stressed out about things instead of just trying it. Right. So there's like a parallel to the story you just told. Or you could use the example. Here's another parallel for you. Use that example as, hey, when you're trying to make a sale, no one's going to marry you, as in buy from you, the first time they hear from you.
Yes, because that was probably the first time I ever talked to him.
See, right? They'll hang up on you.
Yep.
Right. And so I think there's beautiful analogies that we can use story to emphasize.
And like, so how I started with this, so this is something you all can do. Like, I just started writing down a bunch of story ideas that I had, and I was like, I don't know how this connects to anything, but I'm just going to write down a list of stories because we all have very comical lives, really. If we look back to everything, there's funny things that happen to us all the time, dumb things that we do. And you may think, well, people don't want to hear about that. I don't think people wanted to hear about.
They do. But they do.
They do.
But they do. Can I give you an example, Brooke?
Yes, I want to hear it.
Okay, so the first time that I realized this was like long before I was a professional speaker, like years and years ago. I still love to tell stories, but I didn't understand the importance of them in marketing. And so here I am at a quilting conference. For those of you who don't know, I am a total fabric stasher. I love quilting so much. Like just finished a king size with like a 6-foot feather on it, designed the pattern myself. I'm a nut, okay? Let me tell you, here I am in Rochester. I've driven down. It's like a 6-hour drive from where I live. I get there. I'm sitting in the audience with this woman called Bonnie. And Bonnie is like really well known in the quilting industry. She's got patterns and whatever. She's not very interesting on stage though, okay? Except she starts talking about this Facebook post she put up, or I think at the time it may have been a blog post. So she's chatting about this and she said, I got to tell you, I wasn't even going to put this because here I am, a professional quilter, if you can imagine professional and quilter in the same sentence. And she had left her iron on the ironing board, hot side down. And she burned a hole in her ironing board, right? She took a picture of it and she had put it on this post. She said it garnered more attention than any post she'd ever put up. And what happened next was so remarkable, Brooke. Other people started posting pictures of when they burned holes, right? And it became this community, which sounds ridiculous to most people. But in the quilting world or in the sewing world, like you just don't leave your iron on the ironing board. That's not a thing. So figure out what is the you don't leave the iron on the ironing board in your industry. What is it that people like don't do, or what would be the most foolish thing that somebody could do? Have you done it? Why not talk about it? Because you will create community around it. And that's what storytelling is about. It's about bringing the people in who understand. When you post something like I burned a hole in my ironing board, people get that you get that people get that you get them. Mm-hmm. And that's about creating belonging.
Yes. Well, and that's exactly like as soon as you said that, because I've done that too.
Have you?
Yes.
I won't tell anyone. This is not a recorded story.
So, but I thought, oh, if someone that's professional, like they could do that, like it makes so much more relatable. Mm-hmm. And it takes people from, because if you are trying to be perfect on social media, everyone else is watching you. They're putting you up on this pedestal. Mm-hmm. And now you become untouchable. And now you're really hard to relate to. Mm-hmm. But when you bring yourself down to their level, which is really where you are at, because we're all,
there's no up, there's just across.
We're all the same. Mm-hmm. You know, when you are at that level, it makes it so much more relatable. So it's easier to have relationships with you. So it's easier to connect and really see what else is it that you're talking about.
Okay, so now I have to talk about this. On my personal page, so at this point, I only use Facebook. Secret, I have to learn to use Instagram, but don't tell anybody, okay? Another great example, friends. I just confessed to you something that I don't do as a professional speaker, like not on Instagram, fabulous on video, not on Instagram, going to learn Instagram, okay? So here's the thing. I'm on Facebook, I'm doing my lives. And what is the first thing that you said to me when we turned on, like when we met today, Brooke? You said, I've seen you doing your what from the lake?
Oh, your Facebook Lives.
Right, because I do this thing called Lessons from the Lake, because we live in this solar-powered off-grid water access cabin. People are like, you do what? And I'm like, 2 outhouses, you choose which one, right? Like, this is my life, and I love it. And I also have a chipmunk, and people are like, you have a chipmunk? And I'm like, yeah, I used to have Daisy. She lived 4 years. Daisy was really old. Daisy died. Now I have Marvin. People think this is hilarious. They're not perfect videos, but I cannot tell you, friends, the number of times in the last couple of weeks since I started doing Lessons from the Lake, the number of people are like, oh my gosh, I saw you're doing Lessons from the Lake. I'm like, are you for real? Like people are catching on to this. So there's like this name for these stories I'm telling. Now they're telling stories like to me, oh, well, here's where I was when I watched your Lesson from the Lake. And here's what I've done. People get that I get them and they feel closer to me. And in fact, when we chat, I feel closer to them because how neat is it that they're choosing to spend their time with my content? Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I love that. And the great thing with that is that content, like it lives on.
Yeah.
You know, so you could, like, if you had something on YouTube or something, because you could repurpose that.
Okay, don't push it. I'm going to learn Instagram. Let's not push it.
As soon as I said that.
Brooke was like trying to like get me onto YouTube there. That's what was happening. In case you don't know, like we're real good friends. That was that. Hey, Twist, you should do YouTube. I'm just going to sit back and have some more tea now.
Okay. But whenever you're creating content like that, it's something that it's not like one and done, you know, it's something that when people are coming to see you, like I remember talking with people, just like messaging them on Facebook and they're like, well, I went through your feed and I saw this post that you did this. I'm like,
oh, Brooke, tell the Disney story. Tell the Disney story.
Which one? I have so many Disney stories.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'll tell Brooke's Disney story. So a couple of years ago, Brooke had several people who were like on the peripheral. Maybe you are one of those people. It's like, I'm not sure if I want to do business with Brooke. Haven't figured that out yet. And Brooke put up a post about her family going to Disney. And Brooke doesn't put up a lot of family stuff, or at least at the time she didn't. She's been doing more in the last couple of years. And she put it up and she had people call her and say, you love Disney? We are destined to work together. Because I have to say, I don't know very many people who love Disney like Brooke loves Disney. When Disney don't tell Brooke this, friends, but like when Brooke starts talking about Disney, I'm like, because I just don't get it. Okay, like I don't live in that world. But hey, right? But people got that Brooke got them and they raised their hand and said, yes, I want to do business with you because of that. Like I remember when Brooke and I launched a product a couple of years ago that I went on to make into something, and Brooke focused on her business and that became mine. And it was so neat to have that relationship with Brooke and publicly be able to say, hey, we were doing this thing and now we're doing something else. Mm-hmm. And that could have been a huge, big, terrible story, but instead it wasn't. And instead, some of the people who came in through Brooke's list, I don't know if you remember this, friend, they came in and they were like, I don't know who this Twist person is, but like, I got to go check her out. And they go to my Facebook page. And again, instead of finding me selling, they find conversations with my foster kids. They find pictures of Daisy, my chipmunk. And they're like, wait, you're a real person. Mm-hmm. Right. And so we were able to still maintain this beautiful connection, Brooke and I, and that extended to other people, that trust extended, because storytelling, my friends, also extends and borrows trust, extends and borrows credibility. And there's nothing greater than that, because when we do that, that creates belonging. Sales become easier, all because we told better stories and we told stories better. That's what happens.
Oh, so good. So if you're thinking right now, all right, Brooke and Twist, this sounds awesome,
but what?
But I'm not good at telling stories. I don't know how to connect these. Like, we get you and we got something for you. So Twist, why don't you tell them what we got for everyone?
Okay, friends. So over the years, people have said to me, Twist, you have to teach me how to tell stories. And I was like, well, I just tell them. And so I started to pay attention to how I tell stories and why I tell stories and how I construct stories, both in print and live or on video in this particular case. And I put together a workshop called Storytelling with a Twist. Oh, look, there comes the branding again. See how we connected that? I will teach you how to pull pieces of your story and tell it at the beginning so they go together at the end. By the way, that wasn't planned, but it was really fun to be able to do. And see, that's an example of people would say, Twist, teach me how to do that. And I'd be like, I don't know. I just started talking about it here and I talk about it there. Well, now I can teach you how to do that because I figured out how to teach it. And so this will be the, oh my goodness, second, third, fourth time that we've run the Storytelling with a Twist workshops. And it's not one workshop, it's two. So you pay for one, you get two. One is all about written storytelling, so the craft of writing a story. How do I get attention? And then the other piece of it is oral storytelling. So how do I deliver it in a way that people will listen? These workshops are live, as in I will be sitting probably in this room where I am right now, looking at you in meeting format Zoom, so you can all see each other. I will do live coaching and I will teach you how to tell stories so that you can make more sales and connect to more people and expand your network.
I cannot wait, because this is something that everyone needs. And especially when, like, with everything that's going on in the world and we aren't able to connect as much as we want to connect, like, this is a way to build that deeper connection through social media, through your email list, through anything that we can connect with each other and feel the sense of belonging, even if we may not be like sitting right next to each other.
Absolutely, we can. Absolutely. So friends, listen, if you are watching this, the dates are October 21st, 22nd. So that's two different times to suit time zones that you can choose from, or you can come to both if you want to. So that's the written part. And then the oral part is the next week. And so here's what you can do. You can come to one, you can come to all. If you happen to be watching this video after the 21st of October, there will be not just replays, but we're professionally recording them as well. So you will still be able to get the information. So don't feel like you've missed out in any way.
Awesome. So where do they go to find out more information about this?
Super easy, friends. www.storytellingwithatwist.today. Why? Because you need to tell stories today to start your relationships.
Oh, love it. Well, go and sign up. And really, this is going to be game changer for you in your business, because it's really creating those relationships like we always say, like we're not in the business of selling products. We're in the business of creating relationships. And if you're struggling with doing that, you need to be there.
Absolutely, you do. And Brooke, we did not talk about this in advance, but can I do a little extra something here?
Sure, go for it.
So friends, we also have a building powerful business relationships workshop. Storytelling is the first piece. You can be part of the other one as well. Send me a message, find me on Facebook. I am the only Alyssa Twist Light on Facebook. And absolutely, we can have a conversation about making things easier for you in your business.
Awesome. I love always bringing you all great things that can help you just take your business to that next level, because I mean, building a business is hard. And if you don't have the right tools, it makes it even harder. But when you do have the right ones, it's a lot easier and it's way more fun. So make sure you go to
storytellingwithatwist.today.
Awesome. Go sign up. Can't wait to see you there. And thank you so much, Twist, for being on again.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding? Anytime. And I think maybe we did do something a year ago. We should go look that up.
We should go look that up because it hasn't been that long, I think. I just love everything that we do together because it's so much fun.
It is so much fun. All right, friends, we'll see you in the workshop. At least one of them, maybe two. Have a beautiful day.